Hello fellas, these are my thoughts on some French Napoleonic heavy cavalry from the Perry brothers. As you can see, they're 28mm hard plastic. I'm sure you've all seen this box set before, it's been out for a fair while. I just thought I'd give some 28mm a paint up in my spare time, just to prove to myself I can still do it really. So yeah, here are my thoughts. I'll show you a couple of examples I've put together. As you can see, I'm doing the Carabinier examples. So you can do the Cuirassier as well. I really like the posing on the horses. Lots of dynamics in them. You know, you can just see them pulling back on the reins, and you know the heads twisting and turning. I've also got to do a lot of clean up on this yet and fill in them. But I wanted to show you what they look like unfilled. As you can see around the neck, base of the neck there where the join is, the usual one down the centre, breastbone underneath, and then at the back. And then you may want to fill slightly around the seated rider. Obviously the difference with plastics are, when I do prefer to actually paint riders in situ on the horse rather than separate. That's just how I like to do it. So even if they come separate, I tend to stick them on and then paint them. With metal, you've obviously got the right. If the rider is moulded to the horse or the saddles, there isn't so many gaps, which are hard to obviously get a paintbrush into. But this is still the way I like to work. So what I'll do is get some Vallejo putty, and I put some on my painting tile. I use a ceramic tile to paint on, especially during the winter when it's not too warm and dries up too quick. Put some Vallejo plastic putty down, and I use an old brush, dab some water in it so it flows nice, and I'll put it in amongst the joins and then get some more water on it and just smooth it out. It tends to work. Sometimes you might need to do a second application, but it's not very often. Gave that trumpet a bit of a drill there, as you can see, but that'll need a bit of just to clean up, just to make it look a bit better. This trumpeter's in the I'm painting him definitely in because these are going to be for 1815 100 days campaign. We'll put him in the Bardine imperial dress, green with the yellow chevrons. But I really like them. I've not been too keen, I must admit, on Perry Plastics in the past. I've painted up some of their American Civil War and some of their Prussians, and for different reasons. Usually a lot of the moulding's quite soft, which I've not been a big fan of. But these, to be honest with you, are quite tight and crisp. Yes, they've got mould lines over, but they're easily removable. It depends how much time you want to throw at them. Obviously the undercuts are quite chunky, so compared to a metal model, as you can see there with the saddle cloth. The reins, I did attempt to drill some reins out on one, but it wasn't. In the end, it really wasn't worth it. So I'm going to leave them. I'm going to leave them blocked in like that. Normally with metal reins, I do drill them out. So yep, these two guys. Let's just have a twist around with this one. Now I'm going to paint these have painted these in the underdress blue that the Perrys suggest for the 1815. The officers I'll paint in their white dress, white jackets. But there's several horse poses. I've painted two examples up, and you'll have a look at those in a second. Painted them on black horses, and as you know there's lots of types of black, so I'll be switching between like black browns and black with blues and purples in, and greens. Green is quite good to put in with the black for mains. So there are two examples that I've stuck together and yet to be filled. As I say, I'm just doing these as and when really, so like most of my other as and whens, they can take forever. These are two guys I've done. Now these haven't got any varnish on them at the moment, so I'm hoping the highlights don't subdue too much, because with dark horses or anything dark materials, I prefer not to over highlight them, because you completely change the colour of the horse really. You end up with a grey horse. So as you can see, they're in what they say is the underdressed blue jackets. Put them in grey trousers. I suppose you could use your brown greys. I did put a base of brown grey on this first, a couple of grey and brown mixed, and then put some grey. Again, I didn't want to over highlight the trousers, make them too light. Again, I've tried to, on the blaze on the horse's front and on his they footlocks, I can't remember what they call them now, but the furlocks are, I'm not a horse person, but the white bits I've painted, I've tried to show like the hair merging in. The trumpeter and the officers will have black sheepskin on the saddle. You can see I've done these as the 1st regiment. So as I say, these will be for 1815. This one's been highlighted in blues and purples, but again, with my one single light above, you won't really probably see it, and I am slightly worried that when I put the matte varnish on, it might soften those up slightly more, but you never know. So guys, I would actually give these, to be honest with you, the four boxes or so of Perry's I've painted, and I must admit it's been a few years since I painted any, I'd give these easy a 9 out of 10, because there's only so much on the moulding process you can actually do. You're not going to stop chunky reins or like say the undercuts. So I'll paint those next 2 up over the next week or so. And knowing my luck, it's going to be probably about 4 months before the entire box is painted. But sorry about moving them around. I will get a video camera at some stage. It's just the cost of the damn things for what I do. As I've always said, it's the painting the figures that is my hobby more than videoing. It's just really sharing what I do with you guys, and that's not for commercial reasons. I've got enough work coming in without selling myself. It's just I just enjoy showing the figures to you guys. So thanks a lot for taking a look. I hope everything's all going well with your projects, and I'll see you on another video. Cheers.